It's hard to tell with all the smoke and fire and robots all over the place, but these explosions aren't the result of bombs or missile detonations. These explosions are actually the collective brains of RPG fans the world over bursting in a fiery cataclysm of epic disappointment. One of Japan's longest-running tactical RPG franchises, Front Mission has flown across the Pacific for a rare North American landing, but it's been evolved. Specifically, it's become a third-person shooter. More specifically, it's become a Michael Bay movie. And no, that's not a compliment. This is Front Mission Evolved, a spin-off for Square Enix's Front Mission series, and to the game's credit, Evolved uses ingredients Front Mission has always been known for. It emphasizes robot customization, shadowy military plots, political turmoil in a worldwide dystopia, everything you'd expect from Front Mission. Only this time, the ingredients combine for a very different result, one that may appeal to fans of third-person shooters, but will likely disappoint longtime Front Mission and RPG veterans. Front Mission Evolved scraps the tactical, turn-based gameplay of its namesake, play as a big robot, shoot big enemies, make big explosions. Fortunately, the game does throw a few twists into the gears. You've got a few different gameplay varieties throughout the experience. There are some turrets, some evacuations, some man-on-mech battles outside the robot, and they break up that third-person warfare well enough to prevent the game from feeling too repetitive. But repetition isn't the problem. The problem is that none of the gameplay is all that inventive or memorable. It all sort of blends together for a singular experience every bit as robotic and blueprint-based as the Wanzers themselves. There's a general lack of both ambition and polish here, and that lack of polish actually goes beyond a general rough-around-the-edges feeling. For example, after this mission, I'm supposed to escape the crumbling city in a cool evacuation segment, like so. But that was my second playthrough. My first time through the level ended a little differently.
Optimal route. Waypoints created.
You see, that door is supposed to open, and when it didn't, I had to restart the level. So when I say Front Mission Evolved lacks polish, I mean it in more than just a general sense. But the game does do plenty of things right, and one area in which it does not deviate from Front Mission tradition is customization. One of the biggest hooks of Evolved is customizing your mech, your Wanzer as they're called, to an almost RPG-like degree of depth. From weaponry to even the color of your mech's metal appendages, your Wanzer becomes an extension of your own wartime style and inclinations. Of course, customizing your Wanzer also adds weight to it, and that's where Evolved does get a little strategic. You have to keep that weight balanced, hence weighing things like functionality against things like devastation. Fortunately, the devastation looks good, if nothing else. Comprised mostly of browns and grays, most of the game's environments are extremely drab. I mean, given its industrial style and post-war ominous future setting, it's also understandable. It's just not very pleasing from a visual standpoint, although to the game's credit, the mechs look very good. Evolution doesn't usually make mistakes. Things tend to evolve beneficial traits, not detrimental ones. So perhaps Evolved is a bit of a misnomer for this spin-off. For all the potential of the concept, the fun of the 4 multiplayer modes, and the few other areas in which the game executes well, Front Mission Evolved feels more like a Front Mission remodeled. And especially if you're a long-time Front Mission fan, you're probably better off with an older Front Mission model.